Hey guys, in the previous two videos we showed you the main elements in the landing page builder. We removed a couple of them just to clean up the page after we added the form. Today we're going to focus on the more elements, the button and everything that we have under there. Let's start by adding a row. We're going to add a row below the form. Okay. Now we have a row and we're going to insert 2 columns in it. Let's create 2 columns. Okay, that's done. And now let's start focusing on the elements. The first one is the HTML. Okay, let's drag it. Let's drag and drop it into the row. Now, by clicking the pencil icon, we can add our custom HTML. So it can be basically anything. So let's type an example for you to see. Okay, like this. And now let's just click anywhere outside of it. And now you can see that the text was uploaded into the HTML element. Okay, now let's remove it because we don't really need it now, and continue with the elements. Okay, let's add the social share. This element gives you an option to send people to your social media networks that you have, for example, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, or an email service. By clicking the pencil icon, you can see the settings. You can easily change it from Twitter to any other option, add a link, and the text. By clicking the preview button, you will see what it will look like, but we're not going to do that right now. So, okay. That's it for this element. Let's add another one called the social widget. Now, let's duplicate it a couple of times, and I'll show you why. We can change the settings of this element and ask it to show it not comments, but for example, a like. And the same. Let's do the same for the third element that we have, and let's change it into a like. Okay, like, and a share. Okay, now we have 3 different options here. Let's quickly go to the preview to show you what it will look like ultimately. Okay, now we have the comments area, the share option, and the like option. So that's it for the social widget element. Okay, let's continue and add a countdown timer into the left column. Okay, once again, this option has different layouts that you can use. Let's change it. And now let's click on the pencil icon to change its settings. There we have different options. We can count down to a specific time and date, or we can start the countdown timer when a visitor sees this bar. So we can just change it to like 3 days, give it an action, send them to a different URL, and complete the other settings. And for the other option, it's a bit more simpler. You just have to set a specific date on the calendar. So just select it and that's it. Okay, let's remove the countdown timer from our page because we don't really need it in this layout, and continue with the other elements. Okay, so the block quote element represents a text basically. So it's paragraphs. So you can easily just click on them, change their styles, delete them, just change the text to whatever, and that's it. Okay, let's remove this element. We can go to the breadcrumbs at the top of the inspector tool, select block quote, and remove it. Okay, let's continue and add a user profile. So the user profile is a pre-made section with a lot of customizable fields and elements. So you can basically just click on anything and change it, customize it. So let's once again select the element. In order to do this, just click on one of them and click on the row. Okay. No, actually the container of this whole element. Okay, so let's remove it. Now let's continue. Let's go back to more elements and add a table. We actually removed everything from the page that we were creating, so let's just add added below the form that we have. Now we want to duplicate it and show you how to remove a column, for example. So let's click on any field, go to the inspector, click on this part and duplicate it. Now we have another row. We can just change the text here easily. Okay, now let's remove a column. Do this by selecting a specific element at the end of the column and removing each one of them. Once you finish doing that, you can once again go to the breadcrumbs and select the table element. Now drag it to decrease the size. And that's it. Boom. This looks really nice. Okay. Let's once again remove it because we don't need this for this page right now. And continue. Okay, the next element that we're going to add is a services list. Once again, this is a pre-made element that contains text elements. Even this icon is considered a text element, and you can just click on any one of them and edit them. Let's leave it because this is a really nice element for a page, and continue adding on. Now let's add a definitions list below this element. This is once again a textual element that you can easily change. You can just change the layout however you want, just drag whatever you want. But once again, we don't really need this element, so once again, let's select it, the definition list, and remove it. Okay. The next element that we're going to focus on is a bullet point. It is also a textual element that is easy to manipulate. You can change the text styles, change the text, create another option. This is done very easily. Let's once again select the entire element and remove it because we don't need it right now. Now, the pricing table. This is a very good element for a lot of pages, especially a sales page. So once again, just click on an element to customize it, change the colors, the settings. So if you want to select a specific element, just once again use the breadcrumbs to navigate and select whatever you need. Now let's add the next element, which is, let's scroll down, which is the navigation bar. Okay, this element needs to be dragged to the top. So let's scroll to the top of our page, and let's first clean it up a bit because we're gonna be adding a couple of elements. So let's now click on the navigation bar and drag it all the way to the top. Okay, now we have once again the logo that you can change here, and we have the different options to go to different pages. So if you want to change the text, just double click on the text. But if you want to change the link, click on the pencil icon and write the page that you want to direct people to. So it's easy as that. So we have the navigation bar. Okay, let's continue. And we have only 6 elements left. Now let's add a footer. Let's scroll down to the bottom of our page, and let's drag and drop a footer into the page. This element is very similar to the navigation bar. You also have a logo, and you have the different link options. You can just double click on the text to change it, or just click on the pencil to change the link. Okay, it's easy as that. Let's continue building the page. Okay, we have a button group. Let's, for example, show you how to customize the pricing list. Let's drag and drop a button group into it. Okay, now let's remove the old button that we had. Select not just the button, but the button group. Go to attributes and center it within the column. Okay, good. Now let's remove one of the buttons, just because we want to. Click the bin icon and once again center the element in the column. Okay, so it's easy as that. Once again, you can click on the pencil icon to have a link. So that's it. Let's continue with the elements and add a material box. Let's add it before the footer because nothing will be lower than the footer. Once again, this element consists of an icon, text, and a button. You all know how to customize everything. Let's increase the size of the button actually. Let's go to the inspector manually, go to the padding section, and let's write 20 here. Ooh, look how the button changed the size. Now let's also center it in the column. Okay, we don't actually need this element in our page, so let's once again use the breadcrumbs to find the bigger element, the material box, and let's remove it. And let's do that once again. The material box, and let's remove it. Okay, we have an empty row. Let's clean that up again as well as the container. Okay. Now let's add a skills list to our page. This is a fully customizable element with an image, a button. Let's once again just quickly change the padding so you can see how easily it's done. Boom. And as easy as that, we have a nice design. Okay, we don't need this element on the page actually, so once again let's select the entire element and remove it from our page. Now moving on to the Jumbotron. Let's also drag it before the footer. Similar to the other elements that are already made, you can customize the text and change the link of the button, the background. So this is the Jumbotron. You can select it and remove it because we don't need it on the page. And finally, let's add a space. Let's just show you how to customize the service list icon, and let's drag a space and drop it under the icon. Now we have the space element selected. Let's increase its size by dragging the handle. As you can see, only this column increased in size. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this element, we're going to click it and drag and drop it below the icon in the second column. Just like that, we have a nice design without using the padding or the margin element. Let's duplicate it once again to complete this across the entire element. Now we have a page that is ready for action. Just enter your own copy, your own images, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.